I think power metal fans might be sleeping on one of the genre's most interesting bands. Just 7,405 monthly listeners on Spotify? Are you fucking kidding me? I've never really been into power metal, but Judicator just hits differently. And I think with this album, their seventh one, Concord, they just prove that they might be power metal's most underrated band. Power metal definitely has its giants, bands like Sabaton, Hammerfall, Blind Guardian, Helloween. These have millions of monthly listeners on Spotify and they tour the world over and over again. Then there is Judicator, an American band appropriately started at the Blind Guardian concert in the US in 2012. Their last album, The Majesty of Decay, that came in 2022 was very interesting and put them firmly on my radar. And now their seventh album, Concord, just dropped. I wasn't even planning to review it, but after a few spins, I realized this band might be power metal's best kept secret. And I think I might know why they're not bigger than they are today and how that could be about to change. So let's dive into the album and find out why. Overall, this album is very kind of grand and cinematic somehow. It's dramatic, it's visual almost. I almost feel I picture something when I listen to those songs. And the lyrical themes there kind of centered around American history and personal experience, but it feels more introspective than their previous stuff. It has softness mixed with hardness, and if you take an example of the softness, then there is Joanna's song. That's totally my jam. I really like this song. Check this out. Now this song gives me this total sci-fi adventurous vibe somehow, but it's oddly calming at the same time. But then a very contrasting hardness on this album in the song Imperial, where the singer John Yelland comes up with this. There's a power in the ghost states, and white men you recognize. Power! They know that hope can inspire. And then there are parts on this album where I'm like, what the fuck did they just do? And I have to rewind and listen to it again. And a very good example of that is this one here, where they're just full on blast metal. It's heavy, and then this comes. Eat shit. I mean, who throws horns into power metal like that? Well, Judicator does. They've done it before and they will do it again. I think the best way to describe this album is that it's all over the place, but in a good way somehow. They're somehow flirting with progressive metal, even thrash metal, speed metal or something like that. But then Yelland's vocals kind of pull it back into power metal territory. It's almost, I often feel like the music and the vocals are going a different way, but they find the harmony somewhere. It's super interesting. So it's an album full of contrast and surprises, but at the same time, it feels like a journey. It's a story that somehow pulls you in. After a few spins, you feel like you want to be part of this somehow. You don't want to skip songs or anything like that. You just kind of want to go along on the ride. So I'm actually going to score this album 9 out of 10. And if there would be more power metal like this, I would be a legitimate power metal fan. Now this album is just one more proof that Judicator are the real deal. But why the hell aren't they bigger then? So I started looking into it and I was curious. Okay, there is one thing. There was a lot of lineup changes in this band. There are actually 2 times more former members than there are members in this band. And that's always difficult. Whatever the reason is, people come and go and that, people have different ambitions and all that. But just getting new people on board, getting them started, it's all gonna take time and it's always gonna be a little bit of a start-stop. Now this band also started as a do-it-yourself band and they went on a label for their last album, but they seem to have gone off that label again. And now they did a Kickstarter to fund this album, which is great that a band can do that, but at the same time you wonder what could happen if there was a proper label support behind a band like this. And that might tie into the big one, which I think is the main thing. they've never toured Europe. That's the motherland of power metal. I mean, all these legendary bands, they're European bands. I mean, like 80–90% of all known power metal bands are from Europe, and people in Germany and Sweden, everywhere around this continent, they fucking love power metal. But that's about to change because Judicator are just about to play their first concert in Europe at Epic Fest in Denmark in the beginning of April. So I'm pretty sure that once Judicator gets a taste of Europe and Europe gets a taste of Judicator, this band is gonna blow up. But also, when I was looking at the lineup for that festival, I realized Judicator is the only band I want to see there. It's all power metal and then Judicator. So are they maybe branded wrong or put in the wrong box? Because I think a lot of people like me who don't really like the traditional power metal will like Judicator. And then the people who love the traditional power metal might not find Judicator power metal-ish enough or something like that. But for those who complain that there is nothing new in metal, same old riffs, same old formulas, well, then Judicator might be something for you. They're definitely different. Do you know this band? Do you like them? Tell me in the comments below, and while you're at it, maybe give me a like and subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. And if you like discovering new bands, then I have a video for you up here. There is occult rock, there is progressive doom metal, there is death metal, there is some funky Canadian rock. Check this video out, you might just find your next favorite band.